And another installment of Skip's Sauntering Snippets number 24. While the grandson is in for a cleaning at the dentist along with the most esteemed wife, and to have his baby front teeth looked at because they're not coming out even as the adult teeth are starting to come in, I want to take advantage of the time. So let's talk about Twitter. It's been a couple of years since Granite Rock and myself have been on Twitter. I got to the point where, since we were getting throttled all the time, why give, like with Facebook, give Twitter free content? And then Twitter had a black swan event called Elon Musk, and things seem to be changing. So I'm always willing to give the new guy a chance, and without a doubt, let them see what's going to happen. And I have been impressed so far. Free speech. Yes, there's been a couple of cases that kind of raised an eyebrow, but for the most part, conservatives are coming back to the platform. And our followers are starting to go up. Not bad for being quiet. But you know what's a lot of fun? The progressives, who have been used to having Twitter all to themselves, are now finding they're getting pushback. And I have to tell you, it's fun going progressive hunting. And one of them is Ray Buckley. You would think that being the guy who lost the New Hampshire Democrats their first in the nation primary, he would take a little bit of a lower, what's the word? Presence. But of course he had to take a shot at Trump. And I said, well, I'll pick on him. So I put out a couple of tweets, and I should put them up on Granite Rock along with him. I haven't tried again, but, most likely we've been blocked because we're attacking him where his weakness is. And that is, of course, that he lost the Democrats' first in the nation primary. For many, many years, he's extorted, in my opinion, money from all kinds of politicians, but especially those coming in from out of state for data about the Democrats in New Hampshire. And he has lorded it over them and sort of made a pain in the neck of himself, even with the DNC. And now I just have to love it, even though he's part of the LGB identity political group on the Democrat special interest Totem Pole. He's now lost it because he's too white. I love it that the DNC insistence of your skin color is more important than your character, and their absolute pushing to institute racial quotas everywhere has now come to New Hampshire's Democrat Party. And he's got nobody else to blame but himself. I also just love, absolutely adore the fact that the Democrat Party just didn't take away the first in the nation, but they humiliated him by telling him that the state of New Hampshire has to change its laws so it no longer says it will always be the first in the nation primary, and that absentee balloting has to be made without excuse. Well, that's basically puts Ray Buckley in a no-win, no forgiveness of past sins situation. So that's a good thing. The other thing, however, is that it shows that perhaps the DNC, on the idea that maybe they were really feeling their oats and trying to tell a small state that it is more powerful than the state itself. Thankfully, the Republicans have said my favorite phrase to when things like this happen, which is up yours. And no small number of Democrats have said the same thing. However, if you notice, though, the federal coven, Hassan, Pappas, Custer, and what's-her-face, Shaheen, look how quiet they've been over all this. They could have said, all right, we'll act like Sinema and Manchin, that if Biden, you want to get something done, you're going to have to retract your first in the nation present to South Carolina. You know, do the same thing in reverse. Take on the offensive. But no, they've been as quiet as church mice. And I think it's going to backfire on them all. I think that the money coming into New Hampshire for Ray Buckley is now going to dry up because effectively they're going to be a backwater. Once the first in the nation actually happens here in New Hampshire, they're going to get sanctioned. And without the presence and the fame and the notoriety of the FITN, Ray Buckley's got nothing. And I still think he's going to retire. I'm also thinking that the Democrats running for federal office are also going to have a hard time. Because, again, backwater. New Hampshire isn't going to have the presence on the Democrat side that they've once had. Sure, senator seats are important, representatives not as much, so some money will flow in, but not to the size that it is now because it was a show flag state. And now, not so much. Good going, Ray Buckley. And I'm just going to love it on Twitter, watching your stuff go by and me just taking shots. And other progressives as well. After all, Granite Rock goes after anybody, and we don't care what letter comes after your name, because if you violate conservative philosophy and the conservative planks of the Republican Party, we get to say something. And I like doing it. This is Skip, and this has been Skip's Sauntering Snippets.
Croc TV.